So ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the YouTube channel of the African Traveling Teacher. And like I've always said, when I travel, I bring you stories of innovations that are revolutionizing education on the continent and ensuring that every child, wherever they are, irrespective of their location, they have access to a quality and equitable education. This afternoon and today, I am bringing you an amazing African, because I've told you Africa has potential. He's an African who is behind One Connect that is transforming education through technology. I would like Mr. Rogers to tell us briefly why you founded One Connect and what is One Connect, because when I saw One Connect, I thought it's come and connect. What is One Connect and why did you found One Connect?
Well, Francis, thank you so much. You're such an inspirational guy to me, but thank you for such wonderful words. Look, when I created One Connect a few years back, it was at the aim or at the core of creating solutions, digital solutions for the industry. So if you look at the different verticals or industries, there's always been a need to automate, to digitize those spaces. So when I created One Connect at the beginning, was with that very aim at the core of it. Now, as we continue to work as a business, we look at something that's very close to my heart, which is education. Very close to my heart. So I felt like we could come up with technologies and solutions around education so that we can enhance the quality at which teaching and learning happens within this industry. That's really that. And then as an African business that is making a difference in this space, I'm very proud of that and quite happy, especially with the type of people that I work with, the type of people that I get to meet as we travel through the continent. Yeah.
Interesting. This is quite excellent. And you see, like, we share the same passion of education.
Yeah.
I am who I am because of education and because of a teacher. But when you speak to why you founded One Connect, my mind goes back to the places I've been to, the remote areas in Africa. Sometimes I drive a small car and I have to leave it somewhere and either walk or jump on a motorbike. There's no infrastructure, no internet, no electricity, no. How can we leverage, for example, the innovation One Connect to reach these far places without internet, without...
Yeah, and that's that, right? So if you think about it, what you have to do to reach a kid in a remote or in a rural place in the continent, that child that you are meeting, does it mean that child does not have the right to education as a child who may be in the urban area or maybe in a beautiful African city? No, both of them have got the right to education. But the other ones, because they're in those rural areas, they are doomed. So, unless people like yourself who say, I will drive to those places and be able to teach them, about climate change or about tech, all the amazing things that you're doing. But imagine if you could reach out to multiple of these kids in rural areas while you were sitting, let's say, here in Kigali, and be talking to them about climate change or talking to them about digital literacy. You can still be able to achieve a lot of mileage without you necessarily driving to them. So for me, that is crucial. That's how technology has to be used to leverage and to bridge the divide. It has to be. It has to be. Because otherwise, if you think of the cost that governments have to build schools and all those things that needs to be done, it's enormous. But if we are to utilize tech and utilize technology, we can minimize those costs and still the basic right, which is education, which the reason you and I are sitting here is because someone sacrificed for you and I to go to school, right?
Exactly.
And I think those sacrifices ought to be done for the rest of the generation in the country.
So if I may also give an example, on Monday when I was driving here, I couldn't come here before going through a school. So I have this project called the Cultural Canvas, where I am connecting students at Western Academy in Beijing with two other schools here in Uganda.
Amazing.
And these kids are using art to tell their African stories.
Wow.
So either of the schools, students who are doing art create their art pieces and write stories behind them, and then we do videos of them and upload them to a platform called Colibri, which is accessed offline. So I had gone there to teach them about how to use a tablet. They have never seen a tablet.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, how can we leverage One Connect, for example, in the context in a context like this one to do this kind of collaboration?
Yeah. Look, like I said, when I saw you and I saw your story, I made a note to self and say, wow, I need to do something. I thought I was doing something for the continent, but I'm not doing enough, obviously. And I would absolutely take you up. Happy to see how we can help the channel, how we can help your efforts in reaching out to those kids. Because ultimately, for me, when I talk about democratization of education, it's exactly that. It's making sure that every kid, independent of where they are in the continent, can have access to education. Look, we can say, oh, but Rogers, there's millions of kids. How are you going to do it? Yeah, we can say that and then not do anything. But if we do something, we may impact 1,000 kids. 1,000 kids, that may create 1,000 families. 1,000 families, and if you do the multipliers, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I'm very much willing to support and engage with you in terms of how can we digitally leverage what you're doing and even help what you're doing as we drive the democratization of education in the continent.
Thank you so much. And my last question, I just want to allude to the speech you made, because I know this video is going to be accessed by young people, youth to age. Yeah. The brain drain, the skill that we are exporting. I sent you on WhatsApp a link to an interview I did with the African Union, who was talking about like you have a lot of graduates, young, brilliant and energetic young girls and boys who fly out every day. We are losing hundreds and hundreds. And you talked about this in your speech. I'd like to send a message as an entrepreneur to these young people who still think we cannot make it in Africa. For you to make it, you have to fly out of Africa.
Yeah.
I would like to allude to your speech and through this channel, because I want it to be a vehicle of inspiration that we can use to inspire and empower other Africans. What advice do you give to these youth who still want to go out, yet Africa has the potential?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, when I spoke about having proof points. If we can have one connect, the African traveling teacher, different organizations coming up that are created by Africans like you and I don't think you and I are the only ones that have got business.
There's so many others out there.
There are so many, but those guys need to come out and be shown and be seen. We need to showcase them, and be able to show that, look, in the continent, we do have successful businesses. We are privileged at One Connect, and I say privileged not because of I was the smartest guy in the room, because of the people that I work with, because of the amazing women and men in the organization that are making sure that One Connect becomes a success, becomes a leader in the continent. They've looked at One Connect as a home and as a place where we can make a difference. And if that is shown and others can see it, hey, wait a minute, this is possible. Here's a guy, he's no different, same skin as I, same challenges as I, and there he is sitting at the highest level in the continent and presenting an organization that he has created from scratch. It was not inherited, it was not anything, it was created from scratch. Here you are, you're creating a platform that is quite an amazing platform, what you're doing. It's possible, who else can come on? And then once we have these proof points, we're going to change the mindset that thinks that it's not easy to create a business in Africa, and it's not easy to be successful in business in Africa. It's not easy to be in business in general, but we can be successful. And there are many successful businesses in Africa. And you and I sitting here, we're some of those businesses. And people need to be strong, need to be persevere. And also we are appealing, for me, I made the appeal to governments, to those in higher powers, to big organizations of procurement, to ensure that you allow small businesses to procure easier. Do you understand what I'm saying? In our company, I take on small businesses. So if I've got a deal or if I've got a business, I make sure is there a smaller company that I can bring on to that project and be able for them to create a set of skills through a project. That is what we need to be doing. And if a lot of us do that, we start to create this sense of entrepreneurship that ought to exist in our continent. And that brain drain that I'm talking about, it will not disappear, but it will reduce because people will have opportunities. Well, they're not running away because of anything. They're looking for opportunities. It's a survival matter. If somebody is gonna, pay me, I'm gonna go there. There's no work here. You can't sit here and not be working when somebody else says, "Come here, I'll give you a job." You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, thank you so much. And I think your last comments make valid why I have this platform for us to expose people like you who are thinking about Africa, who are harnessing the potential of Africa to ensure that other Africans have opportunities and think about their continent and how to make it better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It has been an honor to speak with you. Thank you so much.
You're amazing.
I'm looking forward to what we can do together to change the narrative of our continent.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Francis. You're awesome, man.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, guys.